Hi guys, today I wanted to talk to you about why Sony might implement trophies to older systems such as the PS1 and PS2. After all, it might have something to do with a patent that just got approved, but this is definitely not the whole story. So if you want to hear my thoughts, stick around, and as always, welcome to Frame Dropped. Beautiful like diamonds in the sky. So this mysterious patent that just got filed at the 18th of March, a method and apparatus for awarding trophies. The IGN article about that states that it is not the first time they filed a patent like this, but they say the tech never emerged, and that is not entirely true, because if you guys remember, on the PS4 there were some PS2 games that were available from the store. Not a lot of them, just a handful of games, mainly Sony games such as Jak and Daxter, but also many of the Rockstar games were in there, and all of those games were emulated, so you even see the PS2 boot up logo when you start the game, and these games had trophies. And as far as I can remember, Sony didn't alter the code for these games, but they kind of implemented that on a surface level. So if we look at the patent, it basically states that the system performs validity checks of the code in order to determine if certain criteria has been met for you to unlock said trophy. And Sony has filed patents with the same name in 2019 and 2017. So that probably means it's just continuation and expansion of the technology that they have. But why is that important, and what does that mean, and why do I think that we might get trophies after all? So first of all, I think that because they filed another patent now, that means they are still working on the technology and they want to perfect it maybe before they release it in a bigger form. So to be honest with you guys, before the PS5 got officially announced and we got all of the infos from the console, I genuinely thought that Sony might implement backwards compatibility up to PS1 maybe for the new console, and they didn't do that. What I was thinking back then, if they would implement backwards compatibility, they would do it in the right way. They won't do a half-assed thing. So the technology is apparently here. The question is, how do they make money off that? And I don't think the easy answer is, well, they will sell more consoles, because let's face it, the majority of casual gamers probably doesn't care about stuff like that. If they buy a new console, they would probably want to play newer games. They might not even have an older library. So I think that is not the correct answer here. They have to find a way to monetize it. So let's just assume it works. Let's assume you put in a PS2 game into the PS5 drive. The game loads up. You can play it in an up-res 4K version. You have all of the share functions that you do with the normal console, and you have trophies now for games that you didn't have them before. How is that feasible for Sony? Well, I don't really have an answer for that. I just have a half answer, because I think one of the possibilities would be to put that behind a paywall. So maybe you would have to pay per game to unlock that feature. I don't know if gamers will like that. That is the problem here. On the other hand, they could put all of the games or most of the games on the PlayStation Store as well, because a lot of older games are really expensive now and hard to get by. So maybe people want to download it anyways. The problem here is, will the developers want that? I think if Sony tells them, hey, you don't have to do anything, we can do everything for you, we can implement the trophies, you just have to agree with us selling the game and you get a cut of that, maybe most developers will say yes to that. And also, just real quick, let me talk about licenses and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, I have no idea, but it's just my theory. Rockstar games, for example. As I said before, a lot of those games are on the PS4 or on the PS5. You can download them now. They have trophies. Rockstar didn't really remaster their games, and I think one main reason why they didn't do that, or why other people won't do that, is because of music licenses, for example. Games like the GTA series or the Tony Hawk series or whatever, they have a huge library of songs that are licensed for that game. And if you would want to remaster the game and to re-release it, it is then technically a new game. So they would have to relicense everything, and that is very expensive. Maybe they won't get all of the tracks. Look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 at the remake. They had to relicense all of the tracks from the older games, and they didn't get all of the tracks. So they had to license new tracks as well. It is difficult to do stuff like that. And I believe, like, if you just release the game as it is, if you just make it available as a PS2 game and it's just emulated and you don't alter anything, technically you don't have to get the licenses back because you just make the PS2 game available now. I mean, maybe it depends on the game, maybe it's much more complicated than that, but yeah, that's why I think that might be possible. Now, there are a couple of PS3 games as well that don't have any trophy support. The PS3 is the main problem here if you want to have all of the consoles, because the cell processor is really difficult to emulate, to develop for. There are emulators out there, but they don't play all of the games, and I think nowadays Sony probably wouldn't release a feature that only lets you play about 40% of all of the games. And I don't think that Sony would want to put that much money into developing emulator for the PS3. The way they could do that is with cloud services, with PlayStation Now. I mean, maybe you can't put in a disc into your PS5. It just reads the disc. And then you unlock it on PlayStation Now. So if you have an internet connection, you can play it through the cloud. If your disc is inserted, and you get trophies for that as well. That would be a way how they could do that. And they just have to find a way to monetize that, let's be honest, because they won't just give it out for free. But when PS5s become available again, that will be a great feature if they really implement that. And because they are still working on that, they are putting money into that, I think we will have that feature in the future in some form. Guys, what do you think? Tell me your thoughts about that. Would you like to have a good emulator on the PS5? To be able to play older games? Would you rather want to download them or pop in the discs that you already have? And what do you think about trophy support? Is that something that you find really cool? Let me tell you in the comments below. Also, guys, we have a Twitch channel. We are streaming 3 times a week now. So make sure to stop by. The link is right here. And the stream is 18+, guys. So I can say stuff like and mother